everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And as usual, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. We're going to start out with Adebayo Ogunlesi, the chairperson of Global Infrastructure Partners, and his major involvement, at a major world level in investment banking. And the main thing we're going to bring about him today is the acquisition of his company by BlackRock, which is one of the biggest investment companies in the world. He's a Harvard graduate, and he's done a whole lot of things. The other thing we're going to bring you is a company in Dallas called Sphinx Development Corporation. And the reason I want to bring Sphinx to you is that a lot of Nigerians across America, a lot of Africans across America are involved in real estate, whether it's a selling real estate, or building little units of real estate. So a lot of times when you say that somebody is a real estate developer, at any level of real estate, most people are doing great in the United States. But mentioning Sphinx Development Corporation to the African audience and saying they are into real estate is underselling the magnitude of the work they're doing in Dallas. Sphinx Development Corporation plays with the major players in real estate development in Dallas. They develop multi-unit buildings, multi-unit apartments, mixed usage buildings where you have offices, stores, apartments, and sometimes even have a major parking lot attached to it that is all in conjunction with planning with the village or city in which they're making that development. You're going to see Sphinx and the magnitude of the work they do. Then from a fund side, I'm also bringing you a restaurant in Dallas called Spatch. Spatch is owned by two Africans, a Yoruba and an Igbo. That's the end of the Africanness of that restaurant. Spatch is an all-American restaurant and nightclub where you could go in and you couldn't have a guess of who owns the place because it's all-American. You're going to find all kinds of people, whites, blacks, red, pink, Chinese, all kinds of people having fun. It's a very upscale place. You're going to love it. Kick back, relax. You're going to like this edition. And these are the kind of things we're kind of transitioning to as we get away from the heavy hitting of bold talk. We continue to be bold talk, but we continue to be bold talk with a diverse programming. We hope you enjoy it. Kick back, relax, and enjoy this presentation.
Adebayo Ogunlesi recently made headlines with the groundbreaking announcement that BlackRock, the world's largest money manager, is acquiring his firm in a historic $12.5 billion deal. Once finalized, Adebayo will earn a coveted spot in the Black Billionaires Club. Although his name is now gaining widespread recognition, Adebayo has been flying under the radar in the business landscape for nearly 50 years, and this remarkable achievement surely didn't happen overnight. So who is he and how exactly did he get here? Adebayo was born in 1953 in Ogun State, Nigeria, into a family of scholars. His father was the first Nigerian professor of medicine, and his mother ran a nursery school. He attended King's College in Lagos, Nigeria, and then went on to Oxford University in the UK, where he attained a bachelor's degree in philosophy, politics, and economics. He then continued on at Harvard, where he earned a dual JD and MBA degree. There, he was also a member of the Harvard Law Review. He went on to clerk for the first Black Supreme Court judge, Thurgood Marshall, becoming the first non-American to ever clerk for a Supreme Court justice. In 1983, he joined the investment bank First Boston as an advisor, which would later be renamed to Credit Suisse First Boston. He climbed to become the firm's head of global energy group and then global head of investment banking. He made a name for himself during a brutal early 2000s restructuring of the investment firm, which catapulted him to executive vice chairman and chief client officer. 2006 marked a significant turn for him thanks to his wife, Dr. Emilia Christ Ogunlesi. At 52, he had increasingly become disgruntled with his banking career and wanted a new challenge. And as he whined and complained to her about how unhappy he was with his job, she gave him the ultimatum. Either you decide you like your job and you want to keep going, or if you decide you don't, go find something else. But please don't think you can spend the next 5 years moaning. Ooh, thank God for women like Amelia. But that was the beginning of his journey with Global Infrastructure Partners. With initial investors including General Electric and his previous employer, Credit Suisse, he founded his private equity firm, GIP, to invest in the niche sector where he had done his first deal in 1983, the financing and operating of airports, energy plants, and other crucial infrastructure. He saw this as an area with very little competition and where he could add significant value, given his experience. Today, GIP has over $105 billion in assets and has pioneered a booming $1 trillion sector that is one of the fastest growing segments of money management today. But building GIP, of course, did not come without its challenges. He started his firm during the apex of a pre-financial crisis and faced a huge risk ahead, navigating the 2008 recession. Many of his early investments, particularly in the restaurants and construction sites, failed due to the financial crisis. Nevertheless, he persevered. On January 12, 2024, BlackRock, the world's largest money manager, announced the acquisition of GIP for $12.5 billion. Once finalized, he will earn a seat in the Billionaires Club with an estimated fortune of $2.3 billion. However, not everyone is happy for him. In fact, his decision to sell his firm to BlackRock has drawn strong criticism from some people who see his action as selling out. But in response, Adebayo says, this is not about cashing out. It's about the opportunity that we have as part of BlackRock to build what is without the question the premier infrastructure investing business. And that's the mission that I'm on. So Adebayo started his firm at the age of 52, when most people are preparing for retirement. He took on a completely new challenge and within 17 years was able to build a conglomerate. And the lesson here is that it is never too late to start making your mark.
It's never too late to start making your mark. And that brings me to Sphinx Development Corporation of Dallas and its two partners, Mr. J. Oji and Mr. Joe Agumadu. The two met in Dallas. They had been residents of Dallas for a while. J. Oji was into real estate appraisal, and Joe Agumadu was also into real estate from a different standpoint. And initially, Jay had projects he was doing, federal government projects he was doing as a consultant in Morocco. And Jay doesn't speak French. In Morocco, they speak French. And Joe was working for a company that Jay did business with in Dallas. And when he walked in one day, his business associates at that company told him there's a Nigerian who works here. You may want to meet him. That's how he met Joe, casually. But as he was frequenting Morocco and doing these consulting work he was doing there, he realized that Joe's French could be a big asset for him in the work he was doing in Morocco, plus other experience that Joe brought to the table. He had a conversation with him, and from time to time, Joe would join him to go on those projects in Morocco. Somewhere down the line, Jay proposed to Joe to join him as a partner. This story is interesting because Joe thought about it, and typically Africans don't do well in partnerships. Joe was not comfortable with going into partnership with an African. It took him a while, and they continued working together on project-to-project basis. And one day, Joe finally thought about it and said, you know what? No risk, no reward. I've observed this guy long enough. I know we may have some differences, but I think we can handle it. And they sat down, talked, came up with a plan, and decided to become partners. This is what brought me to their company as opposed to many other companies that exists. To see two Africans, two Nigerians decide to partner together to build something from ground up. There's no way partners are not going to disagree. However, it's very important to say that 20 plus years later, these two Nigerians are still working together as partners that collaborate excellently. Everybody knows his lane in the business. Nobody worries up. Nobody has ever cheated anybody. And they have built something spectacular. The 260 unit affordable residential housing they are building in McKinney, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, is testimony to how far they've come. And as big as this project is, it is only one in several other projects they have successfully carried out, sold, or are managing. These are more or less cases that I want to share with our people so that we can see how things can be done. Too many times we focus on the reasons why things cannot work. I'm bringing you reasons why things can work. The first person you're going to see here is one of the partners. There are two partners in the company. The first partner doing the introduction is Joe Agomado. And I'll just show you a little soundbite of what he said at the groundbreaking.
I won't go into the story, but I was telling Jay that my first security job that I did in the United States was in the city of McKinney. That was about 27, 28 years ago. I was a security officer at the other side of the freeway. Fast forward, in an apartment complex that was under construction. True. And here we are. So we want to really get started. This project has been long coming. It took the grace of God for it all to come together. And everybody is come together on this project. And without taking any more time, we'd like to invite Pastor Rosenthal of this church that we bought this land from. Sold all the land. And he said we prayed and prayed and prayed, and God gave him a vision for this site.
The pastor he's introducing is the pastor of the church that sold the land.
Most gracious and heavenly Father, we thank you for this day.
We'll take this opportunity to invite Mayor himself, the jeweler who has really literally brought us here. Thank you. Can we clap?
Back?
Wow.
Yeah, this project, man, this 5 years ago, I think is when this project first came. It was a different council. Matter of fact, the 3 council members I just named weren't here when this project first came. And it wasn't something that came through the city easy. It's a lot of work that had to be done, and the tenacity of Sphinx and others to have us here today is really appreciated, because if there's one thing we need in this city of McKinney, as much as anything, it's obtainable, affordable housing. And you didn't have success the first time in, but you stuck with it, and again, here we are today, 5 years later. And I look forward to being here in another, 4 months when you open? Right? I'm in the construction business. I know that. Give or take 2 years.
There you go.
And we'll be here for a grand opening. It'll be awesome. And I want to thank you for being here and choosing McKinney. And I look forward to walking in the doors. So thank you, sir.
Now, the other partner, Georgie, is going to give a little background on how they decided to choose McKinney as the place to locate these 286 units, townhouse, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom affordable housing unit.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
I'm not even sure how to
This is
start.
Jay,
Let me start with
the other
man
partner.
who I'm standing with today. Pastor Rosenthal, you've been with us from the get-go.
Derek.
You've been with us. The prayers, your community, the church, everybody. Where's
Derek.
Darren?
Darren is
right there. Darren, thank you so much. You guys did a lot for us. So we thank you guys for even giving us the opportunity to buy a piece of dirt that we weren't sure we could even one day consider developing into a good master plan in an apartment complex like this. So thank you so much. Yes. And for the mayor, honestly, you and I have known for so many years. You said it. This started 5 years ago. And it was tough. It was very tough. Everybody came. But one of the things we like about our company, Joe and I, is we never like to go into a community where we are not wanted.
Yeah.
Not only that, we never want to even complete our design without the community input in what product we finally deliver to the community. So from the get-go, we wanted to involve the city, the Housing Finance Corporation, the Housing Authority.
Tene is here.
Tene is here.
Tene is here. Tene.
Where is she?
She's somewhere here.
Oh.
Yeah, she is.
I'm
telling you that.
She was heavy lifted. Talk about heavy lifted. He did everything to help us through the HFC, the local housing authority, you know, the city council persons who were there then, and all. So you did fantastic. We thank you so much.
Yeah,
so before now talking about the project, what we have here, we went through zoning and all that, and the city approved us for 220 units. Multi-family apartment with about 13,000 square feet of retail.
Yes.
And Joe and I, our company, that's not what we do. We do affordable housing. We wanted to give more housing units for the least or the most locked out in our system, so they can have a good place they can call home. And we got approval for zoning, and they said no more than 220 units. But you know, God works in mysterious ways. And Rosenthal will always tell you. For some reason, this mayor, God bless you.
And I think
some other city council, yeah. So we had designed this whole thing with the retail portion. We know our partners, well, I'm going to mention their names in a few minutes. Berkshire Hathaway, people who buy affordable housing credit, they don't care about the retail. In fact, it's called the deal for them. But we have this deal, 220 units, 13,000 square feet of retail, which is a bear to lease out or to lease up, you know. But the mayor and his council, for some reason, at the day of approval, decided to say, you know what? Y'all don't even have to worry about the retail. Y'all can do it a little bit. Joe and I said, yeah, we ain't doing anything. And as God will have it, we had a landowner adjacent to us, and then we were able to buy additional acre. So, and then we told the mayor and the group, say, hey, if you're gonna, remember you approved 220, if you're gonna let us remove the retail, that's more units. Would you at least allow us to just increase it? Oh yeah, 260. Anyhow, so we now added more units into it. So now, this project is a 260 unit, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, multi-family, no breezeway type apartment complex.
That's right.
And the reason for this style of design is Joe and I, the company, we don't do breezeways. Because anytime you go to an apartment complex, folks are hanging out in the breezeways and all that. We never liked it. So most of our products are either in the townhome format, so everybody has their individual stairwells in the product, and they love those. And then we also put all our money in the deal, really, because at the end of the day, we're guaranteed for 30 years, 15 years, yeah.
So now what you saw there are short clippings of videos and sound bites of what went on at this breakfast, more or less breakfast groundbreaking. You heard the partners talking. You heard the mayor of the town talking. You saw a visual of the cross-section of the people who attended. And I think that's important to me in this video, because it's something that even my own business struggles with, which is over-focusing our businesses on the African market, or in this case, the Nigerian market, because they are Nigerians. As you saw in that video, the people who they do business with are hardly Africans, both the people who invest in their business and the people who buy properties or rent properties from them. It's a wide open market. I fall into this category of over-depending on the African market when I market my business. And lately, I'm getting away from that. And basically what I want to use this video to do is to also show our people that the market is much bigger. And business goals are way more achievable when we step outside the norm, when we think outside the box. And I really thank Mr. Georgie and Mr. Joago Mado for giving me the opportunity to come out and cover this event for them, because it was really an opportunity for me to bring more to my viewers and to help my ambitious viewers dream bigger, because anything any American can do, I'm totally convinced that Africans in America can do it, especially Nigerians in America, because it's in our DNA. Next, I'm going to bring you an all-American restaurant called Spatch in a beautiful strip mall, upscale strip mall in Dallas. It's owned by 2 Africans, 2 Nigerians, a Yoruba and an Igbo. The only thing African about this restaurant, it's the ownership. Everything else about it is all American. The patrons are from all over, whites, blacks, red, Chinese, Indians, everybody just having fun. At daytime, it has a daytime atmosphere. At night, it's just a beautiful nightlife. Kick back, relax, and enjoy Spatch. Okay, now, continuing on our Dallas trip, we're trying to show you a very unique setup that a Nigerian group here in Dallas have put together, and it's at this place called the Addison Wells in Dallas. It's a shopping strip, and in this nice upscale shopping strip is where we have this Nigerian restaurant. And yep, finally to the main course, the main event, the main reason we're in this shopping strip, the Spatch Kitchen and Cocktails. This is the pride of Africa in the sense that it's owned by Africans, but customers come from all segments of society. Hopefully the owners will be here and I may be able to talk to some of the partners. Here is the outdoor part of it, and now we're inside. We're inside the restaurant, and here are some customers, as you can see, eating. And wow, you're already back. I thought you would be sleeping still.
I open it and I close it.
Oh wow, that is serious work. I'm very impressed. Here is their bar, and you could see the rich selection of drinks in the bar. Very large bar. And I'm not sure the partners are here, but some of the employees who we met last night are here. Even though it's too noisy and I wasn't able to take time and talk to the two owners, but here are the two owners as you see them getting along very well, running a beautiful nightclub. And I hope that many of our folks across the country who have plans for getting into restauranting or nightclubbing can see that if we could create this kind of atmosphere, we could widen our horizon and the sky could be our limit. We need to start thinking outside the box, and we need to start taking our businesses outside our immediate communities. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Wenye mazolo bio akwa nwa zoro bio Max ibia bunye go kwanu mo no fube nazo ulaga ni biazugo mma ulaga do ni biazugo akwa nwa ilochi yo biko rapuzo kona bazia Eku kampune kene Omogo ndị nsọ Chukwu emeka lumo Ike Chukwu negaje Esi nwanne m ekene mi Ịlapụl ife nini na-eme wee bịa Gosili na anyị na gị bụ nwanne Wisdom Megade ka nye gị maịkị ka ogobanya bụ egwu isili maxi ọ bụ na-etiri egwu a malụkwa malụ n'imego m ife ọjọọ wee sị gị nwanne m ife ọbụ na ịchọlụ na ngeme Wisdom onume ekene gị Mama iyo biko lapo Namaste Zero, 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 zero Joy na bugwu Hausa Sokoto Ojembe Nwilo anụ solo nwe nwe nwa n'ọfịa na-ara onye